Welcome back to Right Answers Mostly, a podcast on what you didn't learn in history class.
But you really wanted to.
My name is Tess Bellomo.
My name's Claire Donald. Well, we're gonna surprise each other each time with a new intro.
You have to.
We have to keep it fresh. It's like a long marriage. We've got to keep it spicy.
And Claire and I have to do things,
to keep it hot for each other. We do. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that for me.
Of course.
I'm just going to show up in lingerie one day to record.
Hey, our YouTube views would really go up.
No kidding.
Maybe you should.
We got 2 closed-toed shoes on today, so...
Yes, suckers.
Suckers.
How are you, Claire?
Oh, I'm good. I'm excited to learn more about Kamala, and I'm feeling inspired. How are you?
Good. I am feeling inspired, and I think that this is just a really great platform that we have to be able to teach. We have a lot of young women out there, and I think there's a lot of questions about who Kamala is, and a lot of just which is the biggest question that I think people have, where they just feel overwhelmed of what is this person going to do? What's this person going to do for us? Do they believe in the same causes that I'm passionate about?
It's exciting. And I know that we have a lot of first-time voters, so I'm excited that we all get to learn together. Voting is, like you've said, it's so fun.
It's first day of school vibes. It's you feel when you do things that make you feel really good about yourself, when you do a workout that makes you feel really good, when you do an errand for a friend, that feeling you have after that where you're just fuck yeah.
It's prideful, and you should feel proud. It is incredible. There are so many things wrong with this country, but how amazing that we can choose the future of this country. And that's powerful.
Exactly.
So we got to.
Exactly. And these episodes have been presented, obviously people that know us know that we are liberal people, but we also wanted these episodes to get to everybody and to feel approachable, because we're not judging you for anything. We just want as many people to be as informed that listen to us as possible. And so hopefully we can all learn what she's planning on doing as president together. And then you go off and do more research, talk to more people.
That is the spirit of RAM.
That is the spirit of RAM. So it is a safe place here. And you don't have to do what we do, but we hope that we can inspire and empower you.
Yep.
So that's my spiel.
And there it is.
So I'd like to start part 2 with a quote, Claire.
Okay.
Kamala has said, what I want young women and girls to know is, you are powerful and your voice matters. You're going to walk into many rooms in your life and career where you may be the only one who looks like you or has had the experiences that you've had. But you remember that when you were in those rooms, you were not alone. And we are all in that room with you, applauding you, cheering your voice, and just so proud of you. You use that voice and be strong.
Stop. What are you trying to do to me right now?
So basically a better way of what I just rambled and said for.
No, that's really gorgeous. Both you and Kamala. There is nothing like the support from fellow women. It's just so powerful. Women are so powerful. And that's such a good reminder for this episode as well. I think that they're to be transparent. We're always a little scared on bigger subjects like this. And it's we are all rooting for each other.
100%.
In the words of Tyra Banks, we are rooting for you. Well, we are rooting for you.
We are. Wow, bring it to present day. Yeah, we were intimidated. I was intimidated to do this episode.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Just because it's, tensions are high, and I want to do her justice, and I want to get as much information out there. And I also want to have a conversation without feeling like we are alienating anyone. So let's go back to 2016. That's where we left. Not like we want to go back to that time.
But I guess we have to do hard things.
We do. And we can get through it together. So in 2016... what's going on, Claire? What's going on in the country?
Trump is elected president of the United States. And I cried for a week. That was dark. I went and got a massage, though.
Oh, you did?
I was
the day it happened?
The next day? Oh, the day it happened, I was at a for The Best People, that movie that I did.
Of course.
We were at a cast reunion. Or at the wrap party. I was at a bowling alley sobbing.
Oh my God, what a tough place to be when
it was
you
awful.
Hear news like this.
And being surrounded by people that weren't as interested. So that was alienating.
Ooh.
And so I tried to get a massage the next day to treat myself. When you are laying down and still crying while someone's trying to massage you, it's a really tough situation.
You have to be in a good mental place for massage, I've realized.
Yeah.
And that's for that's for a different time.
But we will tell you that if you've learned anything from these two parts, it is that you have to be in a good place for a massage.
Exactly.
Mentally.
Exactly. So Kamala's keeping her eye on Trump. She's like, okay. She's like, you're fucking elected? She's like, this is crazy, but I'm watching you like a goddamn hawk. Mm-hmm. And I see you for who you are.
Well, and it's crazy when you think, I think I just forget, like, she's vice president right now. She is debating Mike Pence in 4 years.
Oh, God, that debate was crazy.
I'm speaking. Okay.
I'm speaking. Thank you. I'm speaking. Thank you. It was amazing. It's so iconic. So she's watching
We
him.
have to put that in the carousel, too.
We have to.
We'll make like 17 carousels.
Oh, God, her smile with it is just so good.
It's so good.
So she's basically like, okay, my job right now is, this is before she's VP, but she's on this, what is she? Where is she?
Where is that girl? She's on the Senate now.
She's on the Senate.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Claire. I was like, where is our girl in space? She's been all over the place. So she's like, this is what my goal is going to be. It is going to be trying to reverse every fucking thing that you are doing and like try everything that Trump is doing. So she's like, whether that is pushing back on the executive order to ban Muslim citizens from entering the country for 90 days. I see you. Whether that's speaking out against Trump's pick, Betsy, is it Devin?
Dubois?
The Secretary of Education?
Yeah, that she literally had no experience in education at all.
She's like, I see you.
DeVoe?
I
think
yes.
it's DeVoe?
I think it's DeVoe. Whether that's voting against the confirmation of Neil Gersh to the Supreme Court. I don't think I spelled any of these things correctly, you guys.
You guys have no idea what it's like taking notes, okay?
It gets crazy.
It gets crazy
in this notes app. And I think the moment that like a lot of that she was brought to a lot of people's attention was the Brett Kavanaugh voting against his confirmation. We will also put that in the carousel.
I think that was the first time that I was like, who is this woman?
Same. I was like, she's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
She is feisty, fiery, smart, interesting, stern,
like holds her ground.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, if you haven't watched that, she just asks him over and over. She's like, can you think of any laws that the government is involved with male bodies? And Brett Kavanaugh was like,
he's like, medical procedures.
Yeah, he's like, and she goes, oh, so that the government can interfere with
well, I love how he goes, I think I am misunderstanding. She's like, okay, I'll make it simple for her. Something like that.
Yeah, she goes, I'll make it simple. And then she goes, it's yes or no question.
You do a good Kamala.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I just love her smile.
Me too.
And so, you know what happened, Claire, after that? She was a target of a bombing threat after she questioned little Kavanaugh.
My God.
And his dumb ass.
I'm
sorry, you guys, but like that.
Well, come on.
Please. That was a very hard time to witness. Mm-hmm. In history, like for me, like you can like think of things that happened in our lives that you're just like, whoa, like we'll always remember that. I remember where I was.
Well, I think it's we weren't adults during Anita Hill, and so I think being women and seeing someone being so incredibly brave and having to relive their story and being questioned about it in such an awful way. And then seeing that the person who did such a horrendous thing to a woman is now at the highest court of our land. And that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's like, you know that that's how this country works. You know that it's a group of white men usually that are questioning really any woman. And to see it in real time was like, I felt very depressed.
It's very depressing.
It was very hard. But I think that was a moment where people were like, who is this? Who is this woman? And like gained quite a bit of respect from her after that. But her time in Senate, of course, was nothing short of incredible. She was an early co-sponsor of the Green New Deal. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's a plan to transition the country towards generating 100% renewable energy by 2030.
Oh, time's a ticking, but hey, we love, like, if we don't put deadlines on ourselves, then
we have to.
What are we working towards?
But wow, like as I was reading that, I was like, 2030 is like, that's like light years away. That's like futuristic shit. No, that's 6 years from now.
Less than 6 years from now. We are almost at the end of, it's like 5 years from now.
Yeah. But we got it, you guys. And how amazing. That would just be better for all of us. We can all live longer.
Yeah.
Our children can live longer.
Yeah.
I mean, it is amazing.
No, of course.
In December of 2016, Kamala led a group of Democratic senators and civil rights organizations in demanding the removal of White House senior advisor Stephen Miller, after emails published by the Southern Poverty Law Center revealed frequent promotion of white nationalist literature.
Oh, my God.
So she was like, I see you, cut it out and zip it.
And we don't need to see you anymore.
And we don't need to see you anymore. I see you no more.
Yeah. Bye, babe.
Kamala supported busing for desegregation of public schools, saying that the schools of America are still segregated, if not more segregated today than when I was in elementary school.
Wow.
Which is a callback to like her at 5 years old being like, oh, I was a part of this amazing thing. I saw how it made an impact on myself and other Black and brown students. Let's fucking go.
That's why it's so incredible. Like, Kamala is one of us. Kamala was in the middle class, you know? Like, it's so important to have people who have lived through these experiences and care about the communities.
It's literally what I said, Claire, in these notes, right? Like right here. I was like, she is standing and she's always stood for every single person in America, not just the rich, not just white people, not just people who are seen and can do, like, she is standing for you.
For the American citizens. Like, that is what our country is made up of.
Exactly. And this is what Kamala does best. She pays attention. I think she pays attention. And I liked this quote from her. It's short but sweet. She says, optimism is the fuel driving every fight I've been in. And I think that's also really important as a leader and a president, to not be so pessimistic, because you have to remain optimistic for your people.
Yeah. Yeah. People are looking at the top for how they should be reacting to things.
Yeah, and it's like, we were talking about this too, just like even right now with having worries about what's going to happen. Like, the only thing that we can have is optimism, or else you're not going to get to work and you're not going to feel motivated.
It's so true.
So it's like, if Kamala's optimistic, we can be optimistic.
We have to be.
And so before, totally forgot about this. Before the opening of the impeachment trial for Trump on January 16th, 2020, we've lived so much life since
It's crazy.
since he was elected. Kamala delivered remarks on the floor of the Senate, stating her views on the integrity of the American justice system and the principle that nobody, including an incumbent president, is above the law.
You guys, nobody is above the law, and a president should not be above the law. And it's really scary that didn't the Supreme Court say that he could be immune to?
Yes, they did, Claire. They literally were like, he's fine, he's good. So if you don't know what that means, like, if he does something, let's say he's elected and he
Murders someone.
kills somebody just because he can or he wants to, whatever the reasons may be, he will not go through the same process that your next door neighbor would have to go through if they did the same thing.
That's really scary. The president should be held to a higher standard than the average citizen.
And he is advocating for that. He's being like, yes, please. Where I do think our president should actually say, no, my integrity means that I need to stay on the same.
Yeah, but he put in Supreme Court justices that would like be his puppeteers.
Right. So it's just not safe, you guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's just it's a scary, dangerous zone that we're getting into.
It doesn't matter what party he's with. That's just like a basic thing.
And by the way, like, if Kamala was saying this right now,
it would not be okay.
I would not be okay. And it would really make me question if I'd want to vote for her. It's not like this is, if anyone that's running for president was saying this, I would feel very disturbed and it would affect my choice.
Yep.
So, it's crazy. So the 2020 election. So I don't know if a lot of you guys knew this, but she ran for president. So in her first 24 hours after her candidacy announcement, she tied a record set by Bernie Sanders in 2016 for the most donations in the day following an announcement.
Really?
She starts strong.
Wow.
She comes in hot. People are like, fuck yeah, we like her. She was speaking out against Biden. She kind of, said some things that.
So interesting. Do you know what she said?
I do.
Okay.
Kamala scolded former Vice President Joe Biden for hurtful remarks he made, speaking fondly of senators who opposed integration efforts in the 70s and working with them to oppose mandatory school busing. So there's school busing, and I remember hearing about this and being like, what's with the busing thing? When she was
in the 70s?
When she ran in 2020, being like, she doesn't like Biden because of busing. And she spoke out about him and was like, why didn't you support this? And so they kind of had tension over that. And after she made the speech, a lot about being like, not like, she wasn't like, I hate you, Joe, but she was like, you want me instead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's running against him. So yeah, of course.
Exactly. Her support rose by between 6 and 9 points following that speech that she gave. And then her points really drastically fell off. And a lot of this was because in part one, we talked about her controversy as time as general attorney. People and a lot of liberals did not like what they had heard about some of the incarceration and prosecution. So she withdrew on December 3rd, 2019, citing a shortage of funds. You got to get some funds it's really all about the money.
I mean, it's crazy how expensive it is. They're traveling everywhere. They have a whole staff.
I wonder what like the average campaign
They're probably
amount of money is.
It probably also depends on each candidate. Like someone who's been around for a while, like I don't know if everyone's taking private jets,
Right.
but a lot of them are.
Yeah.
So it just depends on which candidates, I guess.
God must be nice, huh? Must
Yeah.
be nice.
And that could be a problem. I mean, that is a problem.
Well, yeah, we don't always need a private jet.
Yeah, but that is what these politicians will do.
That is true. And in March of 2020, Kamala endorsed Joe Biden for president. She's like, you know what? We don't agree on everything, but he's your guy.
Again, like, what's the other option?
What is the alternative? So, in late February 2020, Biden won a landslide victory in the 2020 South Carolina Democratic primary with the endorsement of House Whip? House Rep? Who's Jim Clyburn? Do you know who that is?
I have no idea.
Well, Jim's important because he was someone that was like, Joe, when you win, you really should hire a black woman for VP. And I'm going to hold you to this, and we got to do this, and we have the opportunity to do it. And you need to like promise me, and you need to commit to this. And Biden was like, I got you, and I will.
And he did.
And he did. So Kamala became the vice president-elect following the Biden-Harris ticket victory in the 2020 presidential election. After the major networks called the election for Biden and Harris, Harris was recorded calling Biden, saying one of her most famous quotes, Claire, if you will.
We did it, Joe. Didn't she go, you're president of the United States? We did it.
Yes.
We did it, Joe.
I like how you did the...
Because she's wiping her head when she's doing it, if you're watching on YouTube.
Claire got into character. She always does. She's an actress.
Get into the physicality of Kamala.
It looks like she had like just gone for a run or something.
Yeah, and she has I think she has wire headphones too that she's holding.
It was a time.
It was a
before
time.
AirPods got chic.
I think Gen Z is trying to bring wire headphones back.
I
love my AirPods.
I love my AirPods too. I don't really care if they're that bad for you. If they're like...
I'm doing so many other things that I need to worry about before I look at my AirPods.
Hey, I feel that can be on like the last list of things.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. So the video became one of the 10 most liked tweets of 2020.
We did it, Joe. And it's like so fun to still say now. I mean, we said that when we were leaving Kyle Richards' white party. We just looked out at SoFi Stadium and we were like, we did it, Joe.
Wow. Didn't we also say that after, not to make it about ourselves, but after Watch What Happens Live?
We did it, Joe. Yes, we did.
More like we did it, Joe. After like 12 martinis
on national television. We did it, Joe. Yeah, we did.
Oh, God. So she becomes Madam Vice President.
History. Her story.
Her story.
Her story. It is amazing that we have a female vice president right now. I love it.
I love it too. And she says this, Claire. Get the tissues ready.
Oh, God.
She says, I'm thinking about my mother and about the generations of women, Black women, Asian, white, Latina, and Native American women throughout our nation's history who have paved the way for this moment tonight. Women who have fought and sacrificed so much for equality, liberty, and justice for all, including the Black women who are too often overlooked, but so often prove that they are the backbone of our democracy. What a testament it is to Joe's character that he had the audacity to break one of the most substantial barriers that exists in our country and select a woman as his vice president. But while I may be the first woman in his office, I won't be the last, because every little girl watching tonight sees this, that this country is full of possibilities.
I mean, it is just so true. It only takes one to make it not strange anymore.
Well, I saw... My fiance sent me a tweet the other night, which I was like, oh, here we go. Just the waterworks after the DNC, where it was like, isn't it so crazy that watching the DNC, which is the Democratic National Convention, which was on a few weeks ago. And it's like, isn't it crazy that there's not like a lot of conversation about how Kamala's a woman, and who we can owe that to, one of
Hillary.
many people, Hillary Clinton. Like when she ran, this is crazy, and this
First
is
female president.
and now it's like, well, we still haven't had one, so fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But it's less of like that doesn't, and Hillary's campaign slogan was "I'm with her." The way that they dressed Hillary even was very like, okay, we're gonna make her look a little masculine, but also still very womanly and feminine, and show her curves and like she's a woman.
Yep.
And this is just, it's just different this time.
It's just different, and like. Sorry, she's a polarizing character. I know this isn't a Hillary episode.
You don't have to apologize.
I know. I don't have to apologize. I admire Hillary so much, and the things that she has had to go through and the cracks that she has put in the glass ceiling. We owe so much to her.
We do.
And for her to have that horrendous experience in 2016, the things that she had to go through in her campaign, and show up to the DNC again this year and put her full support and weight behind Kamala to make sure that Kamala shatters that glass ceiling. Again, the power of women.
Oh my God. I mean, there was this, if you haven't watched the speech, and whatever your feelings are about Hillary, it is a historic moment to see the last woman that went through this campaign that won the popular vote but did not, end up winning. And, when she's like, I am going to tell my grandchildren and my children that I was here and we were all here. Like, it is history.
It's history. And also the things that women have to deal with on this. I was just watching the Hillary doc on Hulu. I highly recommend it. And she was like, I did the calculations. I have had to spend 25 days doing hair and makeup for this, whereas men will roll out of bed, take a shower, and then just go.
I mean, there's a delicacy and a balancing act that you see with Kamala, too, that I'm sure she's going through of like, how do I remain strong? But I don't want people to think I'm a bitch, so I also have to be nice. But if I'm too nice, I'm a pushover. And, it's like these like checks and balances that you just have to like, it must be so exhausting. And that goes into the way that she dresses and the makeup that she wears and the jewelry. Like this, people's profession is making sure that Kamala can be taken seriously based on the way that she looks by both men and women and our own internalized misogyny and sexism. People are literally working on the clock to make sure that she looks a certain way.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't say that someone's working like that for little Trumpy.
Definitely. I mean, someone should. Someone needs to like.
He has the budget, so let's get some glam in there.
We have to get. I don't even want to be advocating for him, but like I'm so sick of looking at bad spray tans. I'm so sick of it.
Well, that's one thing we'll always advocate for, no matter what.
Yes, no matter who you are.
We need you to get a good spray tan.
We have the tips. Like enough is enough.
No, and we won't give them to Trump, but we hope that you can figure that out because it's tough to look at on screen.
I've had enough.
Enough.
I'm tired.
Truly.
I deserve to see a good spray tan on my screen.
Honey, go to Sugar and Bronze.
Please.
They'll come to you.
They're like, we do not want his business.
Do not come.
Do not come. Another. Can we like at some point take time for the Kamala quotes? Do not come.
Do not come.
That is also one of my favorites that we say often.
Same.
Do not come.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so she's VP. The woman is Vice President of the United States, first woman ever.
Incredible.
And her time as VP is focused on a lot of things. And you know what? Like VP is also like we were saying in the last episode, you're kind of like you're in the, not like in the dark, but like you shouldn't have a lot of media attention.
Yeah.
But the things that she was doing, I think, were really incredible. She's focusing on immigration. She's trying to get, she's investigating and doing a lot of time with people and immigrants and trying to find like root causes.
They're going to come for her for that.
They are.
Which the right, usually their big issues are always immigration and economy. And anytime they have a Democratic president, they're not happy about it. I highly recommend you do your homework on the things that Trump has gotten in the way of. Okay, I'll just say this because it is important.
Yeah.
With immigration, there was a very strict immigration bill or law, whatever those things are, that was about to be passed, that was led by the Conservative Party. And Trump got in there and talked to people and said, you better make sure that this is not passed, because if it is passed under the Biden administration, it is going to look like a win. That is a guy who does not care about what your interests are. He only cares about your power. Or his power,
His
sorry.
power, exactly. Exactly.
And you can look that up. Do your homework. But it's true. It's an episode on the Daily as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, I mean, she focused a lot on immigration. She focused on foreign policy, like removing troops from Afghanistan. She assumed a key diplomatic role with the Biden administration, particularly following the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
God, why does anyone ever want to be president? We have so many problems in this world. It is crazy.
Good guy. I mean, Lord knows I don't have the emotional strength for it. I'd be so scared. I'd be so sensitive.
I would be crying so hard and be like, I just cry when I get frustrated. Like, I could never.
I would be Anne Hathaway in The Princess Diaries when she goes up to give that speech and she just throws up, like runs out and throws up, and then everyone laughs at her.
Same.
That would be me. And this is something that just didn't go in the news, which I thought was interesting. She was the first vice president or president, anyone in that realm, to ever publicly visit an abortion clinic as her time as VP. Because, you know, that is another thing that she is very passionate about and that she champions for, and that she has said that her time as president, if she is elected, will be dedicated to getting our rights back. And, you know, it's really hard to do that after, and I think there has been criticism of like, why can't she just, you know, get Roe v. Wade back? It's not that simple because you have to look at, well, who did Trump appoint as for the Supreme Court?
Yeah. Do you guys expect her as a vice president just be able to put it back?
She can't do that. And now she has to go through people that are actively fighting against that.
And hire people in her cabinet.
But this is why it takes it's a marathon, not a sprint. Mm-hmm. So for her, she would start, you know, that process. Mm-hmm. And it's going to take a long time because Trump ruined that for all of us.
It's so refreshing to hear presidential candidates say the word abortion too. I think that Biden in his heart is pro-choice, but he has this like Catholic background, so he wasn't as like strong of a fighter. And also it's like, it's less authentic to have a white man fight for these issues. Like, it just doesn't hit as hard. That might sound like a really stupid way to say it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. No. Like, to have a woman of color come in and fight for these issues who have been affected by this issue, it just makes for such a stronger fight.
Yeah, I mean, you want to look at someone who's making these decisions and be like, you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. You know what it feels like, whether you've gotten an abortion or not. You know what it feels like to be a woman that goes through all of the things that we all go through. It's very universal, no matter what you've been through. So I think it's amazing that she visited an abortion clinic because, yeah, that's like, you know, it's very similar to visiting a doctor's office that helps with something that you're going through. It's all
healthcare. Abortion is healthcare.
Destigmatize it. And under the Biden-Harris administration, they forgave student loan debt for nearly 5 million Americans, including teachers and other public servants.
God, student loan debt is just
yikers.
Crazy.
Yikes. College is so crazy expensive.
I mean, it's making there's just no way to get out from under it.
I know.
So that's incredible.
Yeah, they made a huge impact in that. And on to becoming the first president, hopefully, of the United States. We're going to talk about what she plans to do. But before we do that, we're going to take a little quick moment. And we're going to talk about her personal life.
Oh, love.
And a little bit of her personality. What does she like? What does she do? What fuels her? Okay, so we're first going to talk about Doug. Oh. Doug is a sweet angel, and we must protect Doug.
At all costs.
At all costs. So she met her future husband, attorney Doug Emhoff, through a mutual friend on a blind date in 2013. Doug was born into a Jewish family, and he was an entertainment lawyer.
Oh, he's an entertainment lawyer?
Yeah, I don't think anymore, but he was.
Yeah, because he stopped being a lawyer because it was a conflict. He thought it was a conflict of interest, right? When she became vice president?
Find yourself a man who is not intimidated by your success and will put his job on the back burner to let you shine.
I'm looking. By God, I'm looking. You know, there's not a lot of them out there. I will say that, but we will stay strong and we will look.
They are out there. You just got to dig a little bit. You got to weed out the other ones. You know? Guess where they got married, Claire? We love it. We've been on a girls trip here.
Austin?
It's in California. It's so chic.
Oh, hi.
We wish we could move there.
Santa Barbara.
Yes.
We've been on a lot of girls trips. If they got married in Austin, I was going to be like, that's the most random thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, no, I'd be like, no.
No, do not come.
Do not come to Austin for that wedding. Yeah, they got married in Santa Barbara. Isn't that cute? So she's a stepmom. She is a stepmom to Doug's two children, Cole and Ella, which I was like, wait a second. When I was in middle school, I wrote down the names that I wanted to name my children.
Stop.
I always wanted to name, because I was going to be named Cole if I was a boy.
Oh my God.
And I always loved that name. And then Ella is my cousin's name. And I always was like,
both are hot names.
And one of my best friends knew babies' names, and I always loved the name Ella. So those were my middle school like kid.
My God.
I know. I was like,
also,
cute.
Cole and Ella, like,
Chic.
they're so chic. They're so cool.
They are. I saw a tweet that they're like, they are Silver Lake hipsters.
They are like and the White House needs that
for
right
sure.
now.
We need it to be mixed up.
Although, like, the Biden grandchildren. Have you ever seen people more chic in your life?
Did you guys see the wedding in Vogue?
Oh, come on!
Oh my God, the gloves,
the lace.
I sent Claire a picture of Naomi Biden the other day, and I was like, "Is there anything more chic than being the granddaughter of the president? Like, the daughter's really chic, but there's something about even being like a little bit more removed."
And we said, because that's a real fucking legacy
for me.
Yep. And it is. Because it's like, the grandchildren are the legacies. Speaking of.
Exactly.
Hello, Jack Schlossberg.
If anyone knows Jack, just let us know.
Just let us know.
We'd like for him to come on the pod.
We would love to have Jack on the pod. We would love.
It'd be fun.
Be chaotic.
It would be crazy. Spotify wouldn't know what hit him.
Can
with the three of us in this room.
Let's get a Kennedy on this pod.
Oh my God.
It's about time.
It's about damn time. So
where were we?
Yeah, sorry, where were we? Kamala said, when Doug and I got married, Cole, Ella, and I agreed that we didn't like the term stepmom. Instead, they came up with the name Mamala. All of that.
God, the fact that her kids seem to have just taken her in. That's not always the story, and that's a really beautiful thing. And like also amazing how incredible that we could have this modern family in the White House.
I mean, truly though. And yeah, it's not easy to be a stepmom, I'm sure. It's not easy for you to like your stepmom, which I know that. That is for premium.
That's for premium.
We'll talk about that on premium. I've never met a stepmom that I liked. I'll put it that way. I'll put it that way.
That's why we have our definition of Wikipedia. Like, say no more.
Exactly. Her friend from college, Howard Rosario Richardson, says that she has always possessed and still does wit, humor, fearlessness with a big laugh.
Oh, I love her laugh. And they tried to villainize her. Again,
don't villainize a woman for being happy.
But these are the microaggressions that they do with women. Like, why are we even talking about her laugh? What's that have to do with anything with her running the country? And like, I know we were talking about Trump's spray tan, but like, that's a big issue.
No, that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
Exactly.
Popeye's Fried Chicken is her favorite chain restaurant.
The biscuits from Popeyes.
Claire, she would walk through the snow in college to get a taste of that biscuit, her friend said, and we respect that.
Have you ever had Popeyes, Tess?
No, I don't think so.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
I've never.
We need to go.
Like, should we go after? No, God, my stomach can't handle it. Not now.
Once we get some health issues figured out, we will do a live. We'll go live on Instagram from a Popeyes.
Once we get my gut figured out, we'll do a vlog.
What I would do for a basket of tendies, chicken tendies, fries, a biscuit, and a Diet Dr. Pepper, honestly.
Yum.
Yeah. Kamala, she has great taste.
Dr. Pepper sounds good.
So good.
Yeah, we'll talk. In 2020, she created a Cooking with Kamala show during COVID. And she has a whole YouTube show where she brings on, like, there's Doug, there's Mindy Kaling.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's the one where Mindy Kaling's like, yeah. You guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
She says something where it's like, should I call? Yeah, never mind. You can cut that. Yes, I've seen a clip.
Which,
well, a lot of people did cooking shows in 2020.
I did a cooking show in 2020.
We have to post this, Tess. We cannot forget. Send this to Maddie.
Okay.
Tess's cooking show was so funny.
It was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty funny.
No, it was amazing.
I think I've archived it now. And her favorite movie is My Cousin Vinny. Have you seen that movie?
I've not seen that movie.
It's so funny.
What's her name?
Marissa Hart. Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
The Youths, if you guys know. Her most played artist on Spotify is Stevie Wonder.
Stevie.
Her favorite books, some of them include The Joy Luck Club. So sad.
I've never heard of it.
Good God. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh.
Okay.
A classic.
The Kite Runner and Song of Solomon. Yeah. This is her typical schedule of the day. She typically wakes up around 6 a.m. works out for half an hour on the elliptical or goes to SoulCycle.
I love the elliptical.
I love the elliptical
SoulCycle.
too.
Wow, she is really stuck in 2012 with her fitness routine.
I love the smell of SoulCycle. Also love a 30-minute on the elliptical. It's like all I did at Equinox when I first got a membership, and then I would just leave.
I did it at Crunch, and that is sad, but hey, I enjoyed my time.
Oh, you do whatever you need to do, honey. She'll start the day with a bowl of Raisin Bran with almond milk and tea and honey and lemon before leaving for work.
If I
get that fiber.
This is what I would expect from her.
100% Raisin Bran.
Mm-hmm. I love Raisin Bran.
Oh, same. And her motto comes from her mom that she just uses in everything in life. You may be the first, but make sure that you're definitely not the last.
Ugh.
And we are going to take a quick break here. And when we come back, we are going to talk about what Kamala will do as president.
Love it.
And we're back.
Hi.
Claire, what the hell is Kamala going to do as president?
Tell me.
So, did you know that in her first 24 hours after she was like, I'm running, you know how much money she raised and broke records?
Millions.
$81 million in small donor donations, the highest single day total of any presidential candidate in history.
Tell me you want change without telling me you want change.
Exactly. And she said when she announced that she was running, she was like, in this moment, I believe we face a choice between two different visions for our nation. One focused on the future, the other focused on the past.
I think so too.
And that is just like so true.
It sums it up.
Future facing. Okay, what's she going to do for the economy? She says on day one, I will take on price gouging and bring down costs. We will ban more of those hidden fees and surprise late charges that banks and other companies use to pad their profits. So she's really not for like the 1%.
Yeah.
She's not caring about the richest and she's like, I am working for the middle class and I am helping you.
The rich are going to stay super rich. I'm
guys,
not worried about it.
They're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw something that was like, it was a meme from our Rami Alley. I won't say her last name for privacy, but and it was like, imagine if like we didn't have billionaires and we made it to where everyone stopped at $999 million and then all that other money went to things like, universal health care and stuff like that. And like, you're still so rich at $999 million.
Like, you could have a lot less
for
than that
multimillionaires
and be fine for your entire life and help your family and their kids and like all of that stuff. So it's just crazy. There's no need.
Yep.
And she knows that. For abortion, like we kind of touched on, she has called on Congress to pass legislation protecting reproductive rights, including abortion access, but will work and has worked to shield them on a state level amid congressional dysfunction.
Say there is a state that has an abortion ban and then there's a state next to him that doesn't have an abortion ban. People are going to be traveling. That clinic's going to be so overwhelmed. They don't have the resources.
No, exactly. And I think there is like that misconception of like, well, I know for people think like, well, why can't you just travel to get one? Which you shouldn't have to travel anywhere to get healthcare.
Also, people can't take off of work and can't afford that.
It is very expensive. I went to the downtown Planned Parenthood last year and like did like a tour and talked to someone there. And she was like, we are so busy and we do not have time to see everybody because everyone is coming from Texas.
Yeah.
And that is really sad to think about someone having to travel to do something that already could be, stressful and complicated, whatever it may be. No one should have to do that.
I mean, abortions are never going to stop. So are we going to protect the lives of women or not? Are we going to do it safely or not?
Exactly. So I really am excited for what she can do for this. I would just feel so like protected by her, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does. For the climate, like we said, our girlie's always been interested in, helping protect us, that 2030 Green Deal. She's going to continue for the climate. She's going to continue implementing the Biden administration's landmark Inflation Reduction Act, which is called the IRA, which provides hundreds of billions of dollars in tax subsidies and grants for low carbon and renewable energy products.
So it's like helping out companies that are putting out low energy products.
Yes.
Great.
So we love that.
Like incentivizing them to do that.
Exactly.
Okay.
For the border, she would continue Biden's administration efforts to reform current border policies to provide pathways to citizenship for immigrants in the U.S., including Dreamers, and expedite asylum processes in the country. Taxes. I think this is like a game show.
I know. And now.
Taxes. She supports increasing taxing the ultra wealthy. And as senator, she also introduced legislation that would have given a tax credit of up to $6,000 for low and middle income households. She just released a few days ago that she also, when she is president, that she would give $25,000 to first-time house buyers.
Guys, we're losing the middle class, and she is doing what she can to stop that. Like, the wealth disparity is really scary right now.
Exactly, Claire. Exactly. Debt.
Oh, God. I mean, we are so far in to debt. Like, that's why I'm like...
It's like, how do you even come out?
Oh, my God. Because then, like, you're becoming president, and you're like, what did they do? Like, the person that was in front of me?
It's literally... You know what it is? It's like when you leave a relationship.
Thank you for taking it there.
You leave a relationship and you're like, I can only do so much.
So much.
And the person that you are with next is going to be in for a hell of a ride, but at least I did something.
I tried. And then they will, like, be better for the next person.
Exactly.
But there's only so much you can do.
What's a girl to do?
Yeah.
So what's a girl do with debt? Well, Kamala has said that she would like to use federal funds to clear medical debt. Kamala has said that she would favor preventing medical debt in the first place by protecting patients from debt collectors through charity care and restrictions on healthcare providers and third-party debt collectors.
Yeah, because people, again, like, well...
Take advantage?
Yeah, and also I'm sure there's things where people... I'm sure this comes from the place at, like, the most basic level that people don't go to the ER because it's so expensive and you get into debt because of that.
Oh, my God. I mean, taking an ambulance, isn't that like $5,000 or something?
It's really expensive.
It's crazy. To kind of piggyback off of that, with healthcare, she will reduce prescription drug costs. What, say that 500 times.
No, thank
She
you.
will reduce prescription drug costs, cap insulin prices at $35, allow
$35.
$35.
Yes.
$35.
Yeah, which insulin should, I believe it's a really cheap thing.
It is one of the cheapest things, and
it's something that is so necessary for so many Americans, and that's like why Big Pharma can make it so big, and that's scary.
I mean, so many Americans suffer from diabetes. Like, it's a crazy percentage. Allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices and cap out-of-pocket expenses for Medicare drug coverage. So once again, she's just trying to make sure that we are not all taken advantage of, that these big companies aren't benefiting off of us and we're left with nothing. And for college, have you heard of, Claire, the College for All Act?
No.
So, the College for All Act was proposed by Senator Bernie Sanders in 2017. And she likes this. You know, she's not always like the biggest fan of Bernie, I don't think, but she wants to mimic this. So in addition for her efforts on student loan forgiveness, Kamala has advocated for broader reforms in higher education, including this act, which would aim to provide tuition-free education at community colleges for all students.
Amazing.
Offer tuition-free education at four-year public institutions for students from families that earning up to $125,000 annually. Which, isn't it crazy? Like, when you grew up, you were like, wow, $125,000. And now it's like, good luck living in
LA?
In LA, in
any big city.
Any big city.
Yeah, just to put it in perspective, the Game of Life, the highest salary that you can make was $100,000.
Claire?
Yeah. I took it there.
Oh my God, that just brought back
I fucking love the Game of Life.
I loved it too. It was my favorite board game.
It was the best. Emma also had the computer game. Oh, I just loved it.
Oh my God, did you get like the other lives where it was like life like Hollywood version?
Oh no.
Then it came out with like other fun ones.
We should have a game night and play the Game of Life.
Because also it's not competitive. It's not like Monopoly, which can ruin friendships, and I am here to say that there's some people you just can't do that with.
It's true.
You know who I'm talking about. But life is just it's just fun.
Life is just so beautiful.
Isn't life just so fun, you guys? I know that she wants to enforce stronger background checks.
I believe that her and Biden signed a pretty strong gun protection.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they are very passionate about that.
Yeah. I mean, well, the NRA is giving money to Trump.
Yeah, exactly. So just like keep staying informed. And I do have a quote to end this all.
Let's hear it.
And it's a quote by Michelle Obama speaking at the Democratic National Convention. And this was just on August 20th. And this is what she said. Kamala Harris is ready for this moment. By every measure, she will be one of the most qualified people ever to seek the presidency. And by every measure, she will be one of the most dignified. Her story is your story. It's my story. It's the story of the vast majority of Americans trying to build a better life. She knows, like we do, that regardless of where you come from, what you look like, who you love, how you worship, or what's in your bank account, we all deserve the opportunity to build a decent life. All of our contributions deserve to be accepted and valued because no one has a monopoly on what it means to be an American. Let's usher in a new era of decency and light as we elect the next president and vice president of the United States. She shouted out little Tim Waltz, Kamala Harris. And that is Kamala. That's all we got, folks.
Wow, Tess, I'm so proud of you. I know that
Thank
is you. There are some subjects that are just really intense to take on, and you did so with such passion and so beautifully, and I've already learned a lot, and I'm just so proud of you, and I'm excited.
You.
I cannot wait. I loved voting for a female. I can't wait to do it again.
I'm excited to have that feeling, and it's been giving me a pep in my step all summer since she announced, and Claire and I have just gotten really passionate about how to get you guys as involved as you can. If you listen to our 2 weeks ago, we had Ben on that answers a lot of those kind of questions too. So if you want to go back and listen to that of just kind of like how to get started, he talks more about Trump and Kamala's policies in detail with definitely more knowledge than I have because he's a political expert.
An expert for real.
So, just keep doing your research and we empower you guys to have conversations with people. I think it can be really intimidating to talk about politics. And I think we're also trying to bring that out of it. Like you saw in these past 2 episodes, there were things that I didn't know after researching that I had to ask Claire, it's okay to ask all of the questions.
And vice versa. And again, that is the spirit of this show, to not know everything, to be able to laugh at not knowing everything, but to be curious, to be lifelong learners, and to go in further.
Exactly.
And learn from our past.
And learn from our past and get out there and vote. And we'd love, when the time comes for you guys to send us photos at the polls, send us a photo with your sticker that says I voted. It just feels so good.
Hot people vote.
Truly. And just start having conversations. And yeah.
You guys, well done, Tess. I just can't say that enough. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
For scheduling.
Gotta talk schedule. Gotta talk business.
We gotta talk business. Kamala would want that. Next week, we are having a re-release on a historical subject. So you historical girlies, get excited. She's still making waves in this world.
Always.
We do have a new historical episode. If you would like to hear that, we are putting a new historical episode on Premium this week. We are traveling, so we're doing a re-release on the main feed, but a new historical episode on Premium. I'm researching it right now, guys. It's so Ram-coded and it's so weird, too.
I'm so excited.
It was a Rammy suggested subject. So check that out on Premium. If you're missing us, we also have 2 bonus episodes and our whole back catalog. So if you're needing new content, it's on Premium.
It sure is. And follow us everywhere at Ray Answers Mostly, Instagram, TikTok. Our YouTube channel is growing and kind of cute and fun.
We're making thumbnails.
Yes, we love you guys.
Hi, YouTube. Oh, and also our link to everything is in the show notes as well.
Yeah, so please get out there, vote, share this episode with someone that you think would like it. And we appreciate you guys. And we love you.
We love you so much. Great job, Tess.
Thank you. Bye.